My name is Lane Trinkle. This is my patient reflection over the history portion of the SOAP note. My first subject that I encountered was a basketball player running conditioning on the upstairs track. While rounding a corner, there was a wet spot. He slipped and he said he rolled his ankle. He reported a pain level of 4 out of 10 while walking and resting. The patient also reported a previous ankle sprain on the same ankle. Pain level was a 5 out of 10 when coming down the stairs. Like I said, he was upstairs, so he did come down, but he was able to do so on his own power with a slight limp. So I thought I did okay with this guy, and then my preceptor was there, and I forgot to ask about any clicking or popping, and I also didn't ask about the mechanism. So with those two things, I wasn't able to differentiate whether it was a tendon, ligament, or muscle, or a bone. And I also wasn't sure with the mechanism whether he fell forward, laterally, medially. So that could have definitely helped out the evaluation a lot more had I asked those two things. And without my preceptor, they probably wouldn't have been asked. So, yeah, I forgot those two things. My second subject, the patient was playing baseball on a Saturday during Labor Day weekend. He came in on Tuesday since we were out of school on Sunday and Monday, and he was complaining of a dull pain in his right elbow. The patient rated no pain at rest, but a 3 out of 10 when pressure was applied to the medial side. He also complained of a 2 out of 10 pain on the lateral side of his elbow when pressure was applied to that. The patient had injured his elbow or his wrist and shoulder on the same side before, but not his elbow. The majority of the pain was on the medial side of the elbow, but he did complain of some pain on the lateral side. Like I said, 2 out of 10. The patient reported no pain differences throughout the day, so it was consistent throughout the day. Hurt when it was in use, but he said that he couldn't even tell that there was anything wrong with it whenever it wasn't in use, and the pain had started 2 days prior to us even seeing him. That was the full subjective portion of the SOAP note. What I had forgotten to ask, though, and what my preceptor had asked, was the history of injury. So I forgot to ask if he had any prior injuries. I also forgot to ask if he had done anything to treat himself, so I wasn't sure if he had taken any Advil, Tylenol, ice, heat, anything like that. I also forgot to ask him what his position was. So a pitcher is going to make a lot more throws and with a lot more force than maybe a second baseman would. So yeah, that would help us kind of delineate what's the word here? How bad the injury was. So yeah, I could have asked those 3 questions and it would have made the eval 200% better. The third patient that I encountered was a cross-country runner. He reported a dull pain in the right knee just below the patella and deep to the patella. So the patient reported that he felt no pain while running, but random dull pains would occur while he was just walking, and he wasn't even sure what made the pains happen. He wasn't sure what he did to make it happen. He said that it was just random steps here and there, maybe 1 or 2 between classes that happened. He also reported that his pain was a 4 out of 10 at the time of observation whenever palpations occurred. What I had forgotten to ask with this patient, I forgot to ask his history of injury. I didn't ask again if he had any previous injuries to that side of his leg or that leg. I didn't ask if he had any pain at rest. My preceptor was the one that asked that. And I also didn't ask him when the pain started. My preceptor, I had to ask that one too. So I had no clue if this was a first day injury or if this was a something that bugged him for a couple weeks. So the preceptor evaluated him and palpated the patellar tendon and found that it wasn't a big deal. So where I think I can get better is asking the right questions, I guess, and like completing the eval. I think I always get like a really good start, and I'm confident about where I'm going with it. But then I'll lose my train of thought, or I'll lose the next question that I want to ask, and then I'm stuck there like thinking about what to do. So my preceptor oftentimes had to push me in the right direction on the next question, or just step in and start asking questions because I was completely lost. So asking the right questions at the right time without having to think about it, that's a big step that I could take. Another thing that I could improve on is asking patient-centered questions. I'm getting a little bit better with that. I'm starting to ask. I ask almost every patient how it's affecting their daily lives, walking upstairs and everything like that. So I think I'm getting better at that, but I'm still haven't had a patient where I've asked all the right questions. So I really want to get to that point. And where I think I'm good at though, I think I am confident with approaching the patient. I think I make the patient feel comfortable. I think that I approach the situation okay, but once I lose my train of thought, I find myself looking at my preceptor for the right answers and like where to go next. So I think the biggest place that I could go forward on is just getting the next question in my head, asking it, getting patient-centered questions down, and